Imagine waking up tomorrow to discover that your morning coffee, your evening cigarette, and your favorite playlist have all been declared illegal by royal decree. Sounds like the plot of a dystopian nightmare, right? Well, for the people of the Ottoman Empire in the 17th century, this wasn't fiction. It was their bizarre reality under one of history's most controlling rulers. We're diving into the incredible true story of a sultan who waged war against pleasure itself, turning everyday luxuries into criminal acts. This isn't just about quirky historical bands, it's about power, rebellion, and the lengths people will go to preserve their way of life. What happened next would shake an empire to its core and prove that sometimes the smallest rebellions can topple the mightiest thrones. Meet Sultan Murad IV, a ruler so paranoid about losing control that he declared war on three of his people's most beloved pastimes. In 1633, he issued decrees that would make any modern dictator jealous. Coffee was banned, tobacco was forbidden, music was outlawed. The penalty for breaking these rules wasn't just a fine, it was death. But why would a powerful emperor care about what his subjects drank, smoked, or listened to? The answer reveals everything about how fear can drive even the most absolute rulers to absolute madness. Coffee houses had become the beating heart of Ottoman social life. These weren't just places to grab a quick caffeine fix. They were centers of political discussion, intellectual debate, and social gathering. Men would spend hours debating poetry, discussing government policies, and sharing news from across the empire. To Murad, these coffeehouses looked like breeding grounds for rebellion. He saw conspiracies brewing in every cup and revolution stirring in every conversation. Tobacco presented an even stranger threat. This exotic plant from the New World had become wildly popular among Ottoman citizens. People from all walks of life had embraced smoking as a social ritual. But Murad viewed tobacco as a foreign corruption, a dangerous influence that weakened his people's moral fiber and made them lazy. In his mind, every puff of smoke was an act of defiance against traditional Ottoman values. Music faced the harshest crackdown of all. The Sultan believed that musical entertainment distracted people from their religious duties and created an atmosphere of moral decay. He ordered the destruction of musical instruments and banned public performances. Street musicians found themselves hunted like criminals, their beloved instruments confiscated and burned in public squares. The enforcement of these bans was brutal and swift. Murad didn't just issue proclamations and hope for compliance. He deployed secret police throughout the empire, disguised as ordinary citizens to catch violators in the act. Coffeehouse owners tried hiding their operations in basements and back alleys. Tobacco smugglers developed elaborate networks to distribute their forbidden goods. Musicians performed in secret, risking their lives for the chance to play a few notes. But here's where the story gets truly fascinating. The people didn't just comply. They resisted in ways both subtle and spectacular. Underground coffeehouses operated like speakeasies during Prohibition. Secret tobacco dens flourished in hidden corners of the empire. Musicians developed coded performances, weaving forbidden melodies into religious ceremonies where detection was nearly impossible. The economic consequences were immediate and devastating. The coffee trade, which had generated enormous tax revenue, collapsed overnight. Tobacco merchants faced financial ruin. The empire's cultural life ground to a halt as artists fled to neighboring territories where their talents were still welcome. What Murad discovered was a fundamental truth about human nature. When you try to ban the things that bring people joy, you don't eliminate the desire for them. You simply drive that desire underground where it becomes more powerful and more dangerous than ever before. His war on pleasure had created exactly what he feared most, a population united in opposition to his rule. The ultimate irony of Murad's campaign against everyday pleasures is that it achieved the opposite of his intentions. Instead of creating a more obedient empire, he fostered a culture of resistance that would outlast his reign and reshape Ottoman society forever.